This is the 800,000 AI ads blueprint every agency owner needs to know. And most agency owners think they need massive budgets or complicated funnels or teams of setters and closers to scale. And I hear this come by so often when I speak with agency owners, where they say to me, I think I need a lot of budget to be running my ads. I think I need tons of different funnels to do this, and I think I need a lot of setters able to get even any booked calls or any clients. And this is completely wrong. The truth is, I scaled past 800,000 collected using a simple 500 a month AI ad strategy that generates 30 to 100 book calls consistently. And I've done it also for my clients, and I'm going to be showcasing that to you in this video. So you don't have to waste money. You don't have to waste time. You don't have to waste things on complicated funnels, setters, strategies, training up these people that will eventually end up not bringing you any results that you wish to get, which is at the end of the day, booked calls and clients, right? So what do you actually need? Now, this is something that a lot of people talk about, but they don't have it clear. The principle is very, very, very simple. The principle is efficiency over quantity. So what do I mean with that? It means, in essence, that the principle tells us that we need to focus more on focusing on quality and what actually would work instead of focusing on just doing a bunch of different things that might not end up working. So what do I mean with that? I'd rather have one great ad than 40 mediocre ones. Because if I have 40 mediocre ads, what is the use case of that when none of them would probably work? All of them would get a CTR less than 1%, and none of them would actually get me booked calls or clients at a good profitable price point. And that also means having one tight ad script instead of 10 bloated versions. Having one so good ad script, such a good ad script, that I don't need many more of them. That I can just use one that runs for years, that can actually keep on converting clients without me having to make new ads. And another benefit of it is that I maybe don't even have to be on the ads, but I can leverage AI to actually be on these ads. So I don't even have to be there. It can be edited quickly, created quickly, implemented quickly, and tested quickly, because we can decrease the speed to creation process and actually improve everything on how we can actually quickly get these ads to run. And I would also have one coherent strategy, which is exactly what we have. And that means we have one strategy that works very simple instead of 5 different strategies. Instead of having like a lead magnet, then like a funnel page, then a VSL, then maybe another, direct offer page, then maybe a lead form. No. We don't do that. Scratch that. We don't focus on multiple strategies. We focus on already doing what's working because we've tested so many strategies before, and now we don't need to do that anymore. We know what works. We can hyper personalize and directly go into something that is already working. So this is the principle of this entire call. If you take away anything from this call, it's that you don't need to focus on doing more, but focus on doing less and doing it more efficient. Does that make sense? Because who wants to work more in their agency or coaching business? No one does, right? You didn't start your business to become a slave to your own business. You didn't start your business to work 15 hours a day and get no results, which is the most people in this day and age. And it's super unnecessary. Like, you can get incredible results if you just focus on this principle first. So the operating system that we use is ultra simple, and it says pretty much this. We have one winning copy, one winning ad copy, not multiple, one ultra simple ad created by you or by AI. We have one 2-step funnel, very simple funnel with a direct offer. It could have a video on it, but it doesn't need to have it on it. It can also be a lead form, very simple and very straightforward, maybe a couple of qualification questions. And then what happens is once people go through that form, they can pretty much book a call instantly, and then we have the call with them and they become clients. Now, almost the entire process of this entire process, so the winning ad copy, the ultra simple ad, the 2-step funnel, even the booked calls that we can get from the 2-step funnel when people opt in and give us their information and then book a call, this process in between here can also be automated with AI. It can also be set up with AI. AI can do so much these days. It can create your copy, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video and how I would create it. How you can create one simple ad, how you can create the simple 2-step funnel copy that you want to use, And then, of course, the booked calls and the client is up to you, but we can also have AI work on that system. Now, before you think, Stefan, this sounds very fancy and very simple actually, but how do you actually get results for this? And do you actually get results? Well, check out this Hyros dashboard from one of our clients, and it's, it's live, so you don't think I'm actually just screenshotting this. As you can see, it's live Hyros, as you can see. And what we did for them, for example, until this year, it's about 9 months, we spent 146K, got 1,300 customers, 6,000 new sales, because it's also recurring sales, and 974,000 in revenue, in collective revenue. So if that doesn't show you that this system works, if that doesn't show you that you can get calls for pretty much just 1,500 calls and then get a ROAS of 4.44 and then also get 735 calls, which almost equals to almost 80 calls every single month, bringing us a cost per sale of about like 26. So let's say you're paying 26 for a sale, you're paying 70 for a call, and for every new customer, right, so not a recurring one, you're paying about 197. Imagine selling a high ticket service offer and you're pretty much selling people for 197 total. So all of your ad costs, all of the costs that you're making are 197 per client. That's completely insane. Let's be honest. That is completely insane. So that's what we're doing for our clients and for ourselves. And as I said, in this video, I'll break down exactly how it works so you can see how to apply it inside your own agency or coaching business. And I want to make this as in-depth as possible so you get full clarity on executing this strategy. Now, this video might end up being 50 minutes. I don't really give a damn. I just want to give you guys the most value, the most bang for your buck, because I don't see anyone else doing it. And I want to truly, truly help you as much as I can on this channel. Now, let's start with part 1, the big picture framework. Now, the big picture framework at the highest level is that this system is built on 3 pillars. These 3 pillars are, first, leaning on meta ads powered by AI. And this is by far, guys, the most important thing that we need to focus on, because if you focus on cold outreach these days, on an army of setters, if you focus on cold calling and all these things, it's just going to bring your business back into the old age where you're a Neanderthaler and you're pretty much just looking to how to make fire. You don't need to do that. You can focus on actually leveraging this day and age's power, which is AI, and Meta Ads uses AI to get you the clients. Now, instead of hacking together audiences or wasting 5K on testing, you don't need to do that too. So we run broad campaigns on Meta and let Meta's AI do the heavy lifting. And what I mean with broad campaigns is that we run campaigns without even any form of interest. Now, depending on your niche, for example, if you're an e-commerce agency and you're focusing on those specifically, then if you're focusing on e-commerce brands, then we need to do a little bit of filtering to make sure that we get the right audience. But if you're in any other niche, local lead gen, selling AI infrastructures, whatever it is that you're doing, we can simply just keep it broad and keep it very simple with what we're doing with Meta's heavy lifting, doing the work for us. Now, the algorithm is smarter than 95% of these media buyers. It knows exactly who to put your ads in front of if you need the right inputs. If you give it the right inputs, it will actually position your ads better than you could ever do and think of, because it already knows the audience. Imagine how many people are on Instagram, WhatsApp, and on Facebook. It already knows the people better than you know anything when it comes down to running ads. So that's point number 1, leaning towards meta ads. Now, the second thing is the 2-step funnel, which I talk about so much on this channel. And it's just a VSL funnel or a lead form. It's so simple, and it has pretty much a booking flow so that when someone books, we send them a certain amount of reminders and a certain amount of trust building factors like emails, showcasing our social proof if we have that. So no complicated 15-step funnel, no complicated automations, just very simple and a clean direct path, which is ad to direct offer to a booked call. Now, to give you an example of someone that is doing this very well is one of my good connections and, people that I know, EditFlow. These guys are pretty much just running ads, and I'll just share with you how they do it. They're running ads as an e-commerce content creation agency. And what they pretty much do is they pretty much are running ads to e-commerce businesses, and they say summer is ticking, Q4 is around the corner, so they play into the Q4 situation right now. Our Q4 preparation schedule is almost full, and this month we're giving away a few free UGC batches worth 2K, only for brands that sign up in a certain amount of time, so they create the urgency. We're already testing, so we're already doing it. The question is, will you be ready? So asking a direct question, or will we be playing catch up like last year? Claim your spot. And what they do is they send people to a book now page with a direct offer. So meaning they have a direct offer here where it says get a free UGC badge worth $2,000 when you sign up as a 6-month client before August 1st. And they're still running the ads, even though it's later than August 1st, because businesses are really, 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 having the FOMO of wanting to have the UGC badge before Q4 comes, which is an e-commerce brand. We all know it can trigger them a lot. So they have this calendar that they have, a little bit of trust, created through the brands that they showcase that they worked with, case studies, what their partners are saying on Google reviews, and then also another button pretty much that leads people back to book a call. Now, this is a clear example of how you can do it and how simple it can be. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to set up, because they know exactly who their ideal client is. They know exactly what their offer is. They know exactly when someone books a call, what they actually do when it comes down to the offer of 2,000 UGC batch worth of content that's being created, because you can imagine it would take a lot of energy to create all of that for all of these clients, but they don't do that. They have a smarter strategy on the back end, which we have talked about a lot, and also made sure to actually be convertible. That's exactly what we do when it comes to this, and this is why we can launch for new clients in days, not months. So that means when we set up a system like this, it doesn't take months upon months to do it. Like, for example, some people, when they come and they say, you know what, I'm just gonna create a VSL funnel, and I'm gonna create like 40, 50, 60 slides, and I'm just gonna create these automations and AI and backend and whatever. You don't need that. You really, really don't need that. The only thing you need is one simple ad copy, a couple of different ad creatives, even created with AI or really simply created by yourself, and you have the same ad copy, a couple of videos that you're testing, the same headline, the same description, one page that is converting them with a direct offer. And even this is already pretty complicated. You could even have a meta ads lead form that converts these people and sends them to book a call with you. It's super simple, guys. People overcomplicate things these days so much. It's super unnecessary. And the third thing that you need, the most important thing that you need, is the tracking and optimization. Because here's the thing. A lot of people that are working and doing their ads, they say, Stefan, I can do these ads myself. And they start doing the ads, and then they speak with us. They say like, yeah, I'm running the ads, but they're not working, man. And I tell them like, okay, so what's your CPL? They say like, yeah, it's super high, man. And I say, okay, so how much is it? They say like, it's about 20, man. I say, about 20, or is it 20? And then we figure out that it was actually 12, and that their cost per book call, that they didn't know what their cost per book call was because they didn't track it and didn't set up the tracking well. And then they didn't have, when they use, like, for example, something like this, a Facebook pixel set up in such a way that they know actually how to track it. Also on the confirmation page, they don't have the tracking. And also they don't have the, pretty much the cost per acquisition. They don't have the cost per show up. They don't have the ROAS. They don't have the revenue ROAS. They don't have the cash ROAS. They don't know exactly what their profit and loss is in a tracking sheet, whether through HighROAS tracked or a hyper-focused tracking sheet, which brings them in a state of putting money behind ads and not knowing what they're spending. That's pretty much just buying a car and driving it on a highway and not knowing how quickly it goes. You don't have like the, pretty much like how quickly you can go, the meter pretty much showing how quickly you can go, and you don't have a fuel tank showing how much fuel you have left. The car will stop running at a certain time. Your car will probably go slower than the other cars. You won't know how quickly it's going, so you might get tickets. And in this way, you won't get tickets, you'll just freaking lose money on meta ads because you don't know what you're tracking. If you don't know what you're tracking, you don't know what you're spending. And if you don't know what you're spending, you don't know what you're getting out of it. How can you run ads without not knowing what you get out of it? It's completely insane. And that's what makes this predictable, right? Tracking every step of the way and knowing what you need to do every step of the way. As I said, scaling isn't throwing more money at ads. It's knowing exactly which inputs create outputs and doubling down on the things that actually work. And as I said, we have thoroughly tested this system to know that it works. And the beauty of the model is that it works across niches. So we've seen it run for e-commerce agencies, local lead gen agencies, SEO shops, e-commerce brands, and coaching businesses. We've seen it work for all different industries across, and the framework doesn't change. The only thing that changes is your offer, your messaging, so what you're communicating towards your market, and the creative angles. That's the only thing that changes. So that's first, big picture framework. So you gotta understand, lean meta ads powered by AI, a 2 simple step funnel, and a tracking and optimization optimized by either HighROAS, as we're tracking it here, or a hyper-focused pretty much tracking sheet, because HighROAS can be pretty expensive, but we always advise it to get it once you're doing at least maybe like 15K, 20K a month, getting a good profit margin in, and then get HighROAS because it's $350 a month, depending on your trackable revenue that you are actually using. The big picture framework, that's that. Second, the offer setup. And guys, if I'm going too quickly for this video, as I said, pause, listen back to what I said. There's a lot of videos. We have 5 steps in total. I want to show you everything. Like, honestly, everything. I'm going to show you everything that you know and understand how you can set this up today without wasting any time. Now, here's the truth. The difference between plateauing at 10K a month or even 5K a month or 15K a month, some even 20K a month, and scaling to 50K to 100K isn't more leads. Psh, wow. It isn't more leads. It isn't I need more leads. I need more lead magnets. I need more leads. I need more things to get these people through the door. It's not that. It's the quality of your offer. It's the quality of your offer. What do you give to the market that makes you stand out compared to all of your competitors? Most agencies think an offer is just a catchy promise or a clever headline. It's like, just here's a batch of like 2,000 for UGC, creation. Or here's maybe like 25 clients guaranteed in 180 days or 30 to 100 booked calls. It's not that. It's not that. It's a conversion system. It's actually what does the conversion. So think about it like this. If you're getting like 10 calls at a 30% close rate on a 5K offer, that brings us what? 15K revenue, right? Now, the same 10 calls, you just take the same 10 calls at a 60% close rate on a 12K offer, so meaning your price increase and your closing rate increase, that's 72K revenue, which means you can do the same calls, you can do the same time spent, but you can nearly 5 times the revenue, which is one of the reasons that we've increased our prices so much, that we've increased our value perception, that we've increased the value of the program itself, because if you only increase the price and you don't increase the actual value, you're just pretty much scamming people, in my opinion. So we want to just make sure that we increase the price, increase the closing rate, which eventually will come when we focus on the 3 things that I mentioned before: good ads, good tracking, and pretty much just good funnels that will actually speak to the audience. So when we do that, everything will fall in line and you will be getting clients that are actually ready to convert. So when the offer is engineered correctly, like with Edit Flow, what I was just sharing with you, cold prospects convert almost like referrals. So that means that people, when they see the ad, you got to think of it like this. People will come on the calls already trusting you because they already know your price. They already know your offer. They already believe you can deliver because they've seen so many real, case studies from you on your page that you've showcased strategically to convert them. And when you do this, and when you make sure that you have exactly the offer engineered correctly, what is going to happen is, imagine a cold prospect. They go on ads. They go pretty much on Meta or Facebook. And what they see on Meta, Facebook, or Instagram is they see an ad come by from you. And what it does, they stop. They start reading everything that you have here. They start watching one video. They start watching another video. They start watching a couple of more videos. And what happens? They get touch points. They have one touch point, reading the ad, reading pretty much the, text that you have in your ad creative, watching another ad, that's already 3 touch points. They go to your demo call, they click, they read the text here, another touch point. They see the trust factors, another touch point. They see the case studies, another touch point. They see what your partners are saying, another touch point. How many touch points did they have so far? They've had more than 8 touch points. So what happens when someone has more than 8 touch points or more than 7 touch points? That's why we pretty much optimize the offer first, because if they have these touch points, they show up trusting you. We optimize the offer first because it makes every euro spent on ads work 10 times harder. You just mention your offer. That's it. What do you actually do? What do you give them? What's your unique offer that you give them? Your unique conversion mechanism. With a weak offer, ads amplify the weakness. Let that sink in. With a weak offer, ads amplify the weakness. So if your offer is weak, if your messaging is weak, if you don't speak towards your audience in terms of what they need, guess what happens? It just amplifies it. It amplifies the weakness. Because if you speak to everyone, it's just gonna be detrimental to your results because it doesn't convert anyone. It doesn't speak to someone right in the heart. But with a strong offer, when you mention to e-commerce businesses that they are pretty much, walking behind when it comes down to what they're doing, and they're pretty much just playing catch up like last year, it hits them in the heart. It hits them fully. And when it hits them fully, ads become a weapon for scale. And when your ads become a weapon for scale, guess what happens? You start booking calls easier at a lower price point, spending less on ads, getting clients at a lower cost per acquisition, getting a higher ROAS, and being able to scale ads more profitably than all your competitors because your clients and your potential clients already know what you're doing when they come on a call with you. It's so simple, but people try to make it complicated. So stop making it complicated. Look at the conversion system and set up your offer in such a way that it actually triggers people, that it actually makes people want to work with you. $100 million offers from Alex Hormozi. Everyone reads it, but no one implements it. Why? Make the perceived value of your offer higher than it is. Make your offer better than anything that is out there on the market in your specific competition niche. And speak to the market, sub-niche. Go sub-niche and target your niche with power. Not with something that's weak. Not with an offer that doesn't convert, but with something that actually triggers them. Now, part 3, building the ads with AI. I'm going to show you how to do it. Super straightforward, but I'm going to show you how we prompt. Copywriting with ChatGPT. We do have a couple of different tools that we're testing right now with chat, like copywriting, all these things. But before we get into that, you got to understand that ad copy is everything. When I read the ad copy to you, you might have already felt something linger up inside of you when you're reading this, and maybe you're not even an e-commerce brand. Now, what we want to do with the ad copy is that we don't want to waste days writing ads that sound generic. We actually want to decrease the time of writing the ad, write it quicker, and not outsource it to freelancers who don't understand the offer. Because it's all about this as an agency owner or a coach. You need to know how to prompt. Here's an example of how I prompt. So when I go into ChatGPT, I don't just say, oh, write me a good ad copy for my marketing agency that is focused on e-commerce brands doing pretty much like 20K plus per month and, focuses on Q4. Because what am I going to get when I do this? It's going to bring me a generic type of thing. So what I always do, and here's a ninja hack, by the way, for all of you guys, if you didn't know, you need to steal like an artist. You need to steal like an artist. What does that mean? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to do that. Other people have probably already done the things in your niche that you are doing right now. So why do it yourself? Now, don't get me wrong, this one is pretty good with ChatGPT 5.0. Q4 is coming. The brands that win aren't the ones with the best products, they're the ones with the best strategy. We help e-commerce brands turn Q4 into their biggest cash machine. So let's say, for example, I look at Edit Flow. I take their copy and I take pretty much their entire headline and their entire description. Now I go back to chat and I say, take inspiration from Edit Flow and give me a unique offer to mention in my ad to actually be able to trigger these e-commerce brands to book a call. And then what I do is, what I say is, I am a meta ads agency. So think of a clever and great offer that they can't resist. I put the ad copy here, and then I say, and also make sure that my ad copy gets me a CTR of 100+%. Why 100+%? Because it's not doable, but chat will go to its extent to actually be able to give you everything that it has to help you actually make the best ad copy humanly possible. Outworks and outperforms any other ad copy in the market of e-commerce agencies doing the same thing. Gets me the lowest CPM, CPC possible. Gets me people to book a call, direct offer call on my landing page with 100% conversion. Plays more in on the FOMO for e-commerce brands doing minimum 20K a month and triggers them fully. And then we say go. Then it goes. So that is how we write prompts. We don't just say, write me a better copy and make it better and do this. We don't do that. So what we actually do is we do these things. So we take inspiration from 2 to 3 competitors, take all of their copy, put it in, make screenshots of what they're doing on their ads. Take your phone, play their ad on speaker, open ChatGPT, put in your voice note pretty much that you want to make a voice note to ChatGPT. Click on it, play the speaker, transcribe what they're saying, tell ChatGPT to make the ad, which I'm going to do in just a second. I'm going to show you. And then from there, we want to take that ad script, recreate the ad script in our own way with AI. Boom, done. Within an hour, you have a highest converting ad copy and ad script and even a video. Done. You can already launch. There's no time to waste. There's no reason to waste time. There's so many people waste time. So look at this, what we have. So here's what we have. This is for meta ads, right? So Every e-commerce agency promises scale in Q4. Boring. Instead, you give them the only thing they're panicking about right now. Fresh UGC, proven Q4 playbook, a guarantee. The hook. This month only, any e-com brand doing 20K a month that signs a 6-month program gets a free UGC content pack, Black Friday ad strategy blueprint, Q4 revenue guarantee. If you don't add plus 100Q in Q4, we work for free in January. Boom. That's what you call a great ad. Now, I say, rate this ad copy. And it will rate the ad copy, and it will probably say that it's pretty much just, let's say, probably like a 6.5, 7 conversion. That sucks, all right? So when do we say, now make it a 10 out of 10 and give me the ad copy ready for meta ads. Boom. So we go in more. We don't just leave it there. Sometimes I go further with prompting, and I just prompt probably 100 times before I get an ad copy. But the ad copy is great. The ad copy is good. And then from there, I also not only, prompt it 100 times, I prompt the ad script 100 times. I prompt the funnel page text 100 times. And I give my own input. So what we have here, 90% of e-commerce brands blow Q4. They start prepping November when it's already too late. We're opening a handful of Q4 profit accelerator spots for brands doing 20K a month who want to smash 100K months plus this holiday season. Sign before September 30 and you'll get free Black Friday UGC content pack, done for you Q4 ad blueprint, revenue guarantee. Our prep calendar is nearly full. The question is, will we dominate Q4, play catch up again, book your Q4 growth call today. Boom. That's our ad. We have our ad ready to go. It's pretty much done. Maybe we need to change a little bit, maybe less emojis, maybe less couple of things, but that's it. That's done. And now what we need to do is we need to go to the second step. So this is pretty much what we do with chat, just to give you an idea on, the next steps. With chat, I can engineer ads, so ad copies and ad scripts in minutes that are persuasive and even better than the competitors. Because if my competitor is doing something that is already working, if I take that and add more, it make the offer more sexier. So what we did pretty much is make the offer more sexier in pretty much giving them a UGC content pack worth 2,500, done for you Q4 ad blueprint with tested and ready to scale ads, and then a revenue guarantee even. I'm breaking the market. I'm destroying the market. Now, you might ask yourself, how do I offer that? So that's another question. We're now talking about your messaging offer. We're not talking about your offer. Your offer is what you do actually when you get on a call with the client and then close them and, give them reasons to start up with you. But this is something we will package into that offer so we can make sure that our messaging is sexy and our offer is actually something that they need. So give them what they want, right? Because they want these things and we sell them what they need. That's the old age type thing that we always do. So we have niche-specific and repeatable ad copies and ad scripts created. Now, we feed it structured prompts, as I said, pain points, proof, objections, CTA, and we also make sure that it gives us multiple variations instantly. It's already done within 5 minutes. And instead of multiple good ad copies, we just get 2. We just tell it to make 2 ad copies, and we test those ad copies. That's it. It's done. It's like, how simple can it be? Because the creative is everything. Meta's ads are just optimized for creatives. The better your creative, the better Meta's optimization is going to be on the ad side of things, and the better leads you're going to be getting. So if your ad copy is in place, easy. Then your ad creative needs to be in touch, and when you have that, it's done. So the speed lets us validate messaging faster than traditional media buying ever could. That's the ad copy done. Ready to go, headline ready, description ready, CTA ready. Boom. Now, creatives. Let's go into the creatives. Now, creatives can be made into 2 versions. One, we have Leonardo AI. So, copy alone doesn't stop the scroll. The visual does. Leonardo AI is a tool, and you have different tools, but we use this one for now, turns our copy into scroll-stopping creative at scale. So, we generate 3 to 5 image variations around one angle. So, we make like a couple of different variations because we can split test them, but we only are going to test 2 to 3 in one ad set. That's it. So each variation feels unique, but the messaging stays consistent. So this keeps CPMs low, CTRs high, because our messaging across all boards is always one line and always one sentence. And across all of the things that we're doing, it's just coherent. It's pretty much just one thing. And it ensures ads don't fatigue as fast. So when we have the same messaging, when we have the same messaging offer, we are not tweaking or changing these things. And people that see it don't get confused. So when most agencies have a bottleneck here, design is slow and it takes them ages to create a video or a design. With Leonardo, we have creative testing as fast as copywriting. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll take this thing and I'll just say, now make me a Leonardo.ai prompt so we can use this in the ads for Meta that entails only in text form how e-commerce brands can get our offer. Make it compelling so Leonardo knows. Boom. We put it in here. We see what chat gives us. Meanwhile, we're going to open up a Leonardo account. We're going to go here and we're going to pretty much go all the way to the top. So you're going to see here that we've already done a lot of things in Leonardo AI. We've generated a lot of things. Maybe you've seen our ads come by pretty much from this on Meta. But what we're going to be doing is once chat gives us this is the prompt that we're going to be using. So we're going to design this and we're going to pretty much just have these things implemented in Leonardo AI. So we're going to go here. We're going to do this. We're going to do fast, dynamic, auto enhancement because we don't want to do like other things. Which is pretty much like a medium size to do, which is good for Meta, which is fine for Meta usually. So we want to do that. Add to collection, nothing. Advanced settings, just nothing. Just we keep that as it is. And then we're going to just do generate. So once it generates, it's going to give us a prompt or something like in terms of an image that we need to polish with Canva. So while it's doing this, I'm going to just tell you the second point. We polish it with Canva. So in Canva, the raw visuals are, pretty much edited a little bit that are made from Leonardo AI, and Canva makes them brand ready. So we add bold, clear headlines that pop in the feed. We can format aspect ratios like 1:1 if that Leonardo already didn't do that, or 16 or 16:9 placements, which are usually for like stories and for like all these things if we want to do those placements. And by the way, in terms of placements, we usually just do Instagram feed, Facebook feed, Instagram stories, Facebook stories. That's pretty much it, because we don't want to put our budget on all of these different places when we don't even know if the ad is working. We first want to make sure the ad is working so that we can then replicate it on different types of things. Now, we want to add some logos or subtle branding for authority. So for example, how we do that is we have like here for your success on the plane, as you can see. So that's our branding. And we have here for your success on this guy where the Titanic is sinking pretty much. We have this guy where it says for your success. So subtle things, we just want to mention our brand so people know and remember our brand continuously, being almost like a McDonald's when it comes down to people remembering what you do. Now, just so you understand, it's not about a fancy design. It's about clarity. It's about legibility. I don't know why it says eligibility. It's like eligibility. So it needs to be eligible pretty much to be posted on Meta ads. And speed. That's it. Clarity, eligibility, and speed. I don't know if eligibility is actually even a word. Eligibility. There we go. So a polished ad builds trust even if it was created with AI under 10 minutes. So let's go back to Leonardo. Let's see what it did. Let's see what it created. Boom. This is it. So this is our ad. This is pretty much what we did. Now you can see that some words are a little bit like weird. So you can see like 90% of e-commerce errand brands blow Q4. So this just sucks. So what we're going to do is we need to improve the prompting. We need to improve the prompting fully, make the text a little bit better. So we're going to make a screenshot of this. We're going to go back to ChatGPT. We're going to say the text on Leonardo looks weird. It's not clear. Give me a prompt that's better and cleaner, and then we go to our competitors just to see what they are doing. So for example, we have this, so then we make a screenshot of this, and then we say like make it similar to competitors, see attachments. Boom. Then we see what chat says. Chat gives us another prompt for Leonardo. Once it gives us another prompt, we go back to Leonardo, we boom, give it a prompt, and then it pretty much gives us the clean text, because Leonardo is usually focused not that good like on putting in too much text. So make the text less and cleaner, so Leonardo can do it, can do that. So we want to make it shorter, because if it's too long, Leonardo won't be able to prompt it well and create it well. So we want to just change that up to make it, even better. So what we're going to do is we're going to make like this, pretty much like keep it minimal and clean. Then we're going to back to Leonardo. We're going to do it again. So we're going to prompt, and I'm almost out of my tokens because we've been using it so much. So we want to generate this one. If it comes out differently, just get Leonardo and you understand what I'm trying to say. So it might need a little bit of tweaking, but once we have this, we have what? We have our ad copy, we have our CTA, we have our headline, we have our description for the meta ad. We have the creative, and we have polished it a little bit with Canva. So we have that pretty much ready. Look at this. So we have here 90% brands below Q4. get ready now, free UGC pack, free Q4 ad plan, and then the other text doesn't make sense, but it's already better. You can see it's already better. So what we have then is like this, 99% of brands below Q4, get ready now, free UGC pack, plus Q4 ad plan, Q4 profit accelerate, guarantee ends September 30, book now. Already better. We could potentially use these ones, right? Or we could go into Canva, make it a little bit different and change them up. But hopefully you're getting the gist of how we do this. Leonardo done. How long did it take us? 15 minutes to do the ad copy and do pretty much the creative. So we already have creative ready. So we could already launch ads pretty much. But we need to know, of course, what works better. And usually what works better is video ads with Creatify. So static ads, they do work for quicker testing, but video still dominates when it comes to storytelling and trust, because when someone sees a person, they're more likely to engage with that person because they see a person instead of like just an image. Makes sense. The problem is most founders or clients don't want to be on camera. So if you're doing this for your clients or for you, you might say like, oh, I'm not used to going on a camera. No worries. AI can do it for you. Maybe you're just too slow or your clients are too slow, so it takes forever. We don't want it to take forever. We want to be quick. There's no time to waste. Apps like Creatify.io solve this, where we use AI avatars, but deliver the script with human-like expressions and tone, and we can generate multiple spokespeople, accents, styles without a studio. We can even do some research on ChatGPT, who are actually our ideal audience is, for example, with e-commerce brands, and then we can create 1 to 2 quality angles. And what this does is make scaling creative output 10 times easier and removes the dependency on a face of the brand. It makes it so much easier because we don't have to use a person. It completely speeds up the process, and it decreases the pretty much like the creation of an ad video that actually gives us the maximum conversion. Now you might ask yourself, does it actually work? Well, it does work. For us, we have it running as well, and we have AI ads running continuously to actually get ourselves the clients. As you can see here, this one is running continuously, and this is just an AI woman pretty much just made that we made this ad with, and pretty much just running this and getting clients and leads. It works. So instead of begging clients to record or making it too hard for yourself to record videos, because not everyone wants to be on video, I fully get that. Because even if you're working with clients or yourself, you got to send the video to an editor, wait, rehash, wait, get it, then launch it, while we use AI avatars to handle it, while keeping messaging sharp and persuasive. So how do we use Creatify? Well, we go to Creatify, we make an account. The lowest, I think, subscription right now is like, I think 20 or 30 bucks a month. And what we do is we go back to chat and we tell chat, we want to use an AI avatar that speaks over the hook, offer, and CTA, and use Creatify to make it. What gender should the AI avatar be? What accent? And give me a 10 out of 10 ad script towards e-commerce brands doing minimum of 20K a month. Boom. Chat is giving us the prompt. It's helping us. It's creating it for us. And we go here and it says male. So we want to do males. That's usually with e-com founders. 25 to 40, ambitious, sharp. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what we have here is a script, right? So this is the ad script, okay? And what we want to do is want to say like, make it 10 out of 10 now, even better. And then we go to Creatify. We're going to choose an avatar that is similar to this. So let's say, for example, that we have, tattoos we don't really want to have because that could maybe, put a lot of people away from it. But this one could be good. Not saying that tattoos don't work. They could work in a specific niche. We had a tattoo artist agency that actually had a person doing that had tattoos. It worked so amazing. But I think with e-commerce founders, we can make it a little bit more simple. So what we can do is, I think this one looks very, easy to go with, very simple, straightforward, and we can use this. So we can do it like this. So we want to have like this in terms of like the script. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the script here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do Kelvin. That's going to be the voice model V2 right now. Let's see if we want to do some changes here. Let's see if we want to like make like something different. 30 seconds, fast paced, high authority. Okay, so we want to do a little bit quicker speed. Style exaggeration, not so much. Clarity, more clarity. Stability, very good. And then we have pretty much like the script right here. So what we want to be doing is, once we have the script, we're going to be choosing Oscar, of course, to actually get the ad going. And then once it actually, gets us him prepared. We want to be actually having it ready for meta ads. So usually what we want to do is like 101 and then pretty much just using it like this and then having the ad script like created like this. So what we want to do is we want to have like the hook pretty much gone. We want to just have the copy ready like this. So we want to make it really clean so he doesn't say actually those things. Does that make sense? So like we don't want him saying like, you know, offer 12 seconds. Like that doesn't make any sense. So, or check mark, right? So like we're going to do that. We're going to remove this. We're going to remove this. We're going to remove this, remove the emojis, and just keep it very simple. This is pretty much what we're going to do. And we're going to choose him to actually make it. So once you've implemented this, once you've done this, you bought the credits, you're going to go to next, and you're already going to have him actually having done everything. Like he's already going to have talked over the video, and you're going to have a video that I just shared like this. You know, she's going to be talking over the video. And then what you can do is you can have an editor, edit the video, put a placeholder like we did, put some B-roll in it, whatever. Or you can use a tool called Fee.io. We use Fee.io usually for pretty much just editing the video immediately with AI. It can put the captions on it. It can pretty much just use AI to actually have like AI editing. And when you have AI editing, it can give you the clips, or it can give you the specific thing with B-roll in it already created when you have put, you know, exported the video from Creatify into Fee.io. Now, once we have that done, as I said, Creatify will have the video here. You can see this. Boom. So here's the video.
Pattern break, big energy. 90% of e-com brands.
This is it. You don't hear it right now, but he's already talking. You know, he's already talking. Plus, we have the captions here actually made up until the point where he is also talking about it. And it's done. It's already, like, the video is already done. Like, I don't even need to change it that much. So you can use Fee.io if the captions are not good here, or you just use the Creatify ones, and you are actually just ready to get the video going. That's it. You just export the video. You just go here on render, right? On the top right. Once the video is rendered and you've gotten the credits in here, you have the video ready. You can export it. You can put it in meta ads. So what do we have now? Ad copy, done. Creative images to test, done. One video ad to test, done. You're done. You can already launch the ads. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't launch the ads. But before we launch them, we want to do some research in ad library. So finally, we want to reverse engineer what's already working. The meta ad library shows every competitor ad in real time, right? We identify common patterns, hooks, angles, formats, and then we replicate the proven structure while layering in our offer and proof. And this kills guesswork, because instead of asking what should we test, we don't ask ourselves what to test. We just pull from what's already scaling in the niche, then use AI to execute faster and better. One hack to do this. I'll give you a thorough example on how to do this. Let's take Cole Gordon, for example, one of the biggest advertisers in the US right now. I'm not going to look at his ads that have just started running September 12th. I'm going to start looking at his ads that are currently running all the way down, because the lower we go, the longer the ads are running. And when ads are running lower, there's a higher chance that they work. Now, in this case, he's running these ads from his Instagram. Now, he's running also this ad, which is probably the best running ad, because he's been running it from June and now it's September. So when he's been running this from June, it probably means that it's been working well compared to other ads that he's maybe testing right now. So if this one is working, we want to take inspiration from this one and use it and replicate it and start implementing it for ourselves as well. So we go to 3 competitors like him, and we look at what he's doing, we take inspiration from it, and we make a variant of it. That way, we're not thinking of for ourselves in terms of like what will work or what we can test. No. We're taking a look at successful people that are running a successful $1 million business, so we can also take inspiration from that and build our own $1 million business. Worked for us, worked for our clients, works for everyone. Don't make it complicated. You got to understand one thing though. AI doesn't replace strategy. You need to understand strategy. AI can make a strategy for you, but it's not thorough usually to make it bulletproof. For us, we know how to make it bulletproof, so that's what we do with our clients. But it can remove the bottlenecks. It can create a copy. It can create a creative, the video, all produced in hours, not weeks. You've seen how quickly I did it in this video. And that's why agencies and coaches using this system that we have laid out move so much faster, test more, and scale leaner than all of their competition. So that's pretty much how we do it when it comes down to, setting up these things with building the ads with AI. And then we have part 4 of running the ads. So I'll take you through this, and I'll probably in the future do a separate video where I'll take you through our ads manager, showcasing to you how we're launching these ads, what we're doing, what targeting, what campaign structure, what everything. But for now, I'll just keep it broad overview. Otherwise, as I said, this video will probably be 2 hours. The campaign setup is very simple. Again, the budget. we start lean at $500 a month, and we always choose to start with a 10 a day budget, per ad set. Now, let me give you a quick explanation. We start with ABO, which means ad set budget optimization. One campaign, one ad set, 2 to 3 ads max. So we will use maybe 1 or 2 still images from Leonardo AI, and we will use 1 video created from Creatify. Once we start testing this, we start testing and seeing which angles on the ad copies and ad creatives actually work the best. And the reason why we do ABO over like a CBO campaign or something else is because we want to focus on putting all of the budget into these 2 to 3 ads and seeing which one of these Meta will actually prefer. Because the moment you start doing a CBO campaign, what happens is, yes, you can have one ad set in it and Meta will give it all the budget, but an ABO is directly correlated with simply giving the budget to the ad set and then spending the budget over the ads. So we just want to keep it very simple. It's quicker for testing, better than CBO in most instances. Now, once we have this ABO running with everything that I mentioned to you, with either a direct offer funnel like this or a lead form, we can go and start a CBO campaign once we have an ad that is actually profitable. So once we find winners in ABO with a low CPL, a strong cost per booked call, a healthy cost per acquisition, and a healthy ROAS, right? We move them into a CBO campaign. So we take 1 or 2 of these ads, we put them in the CBO because our ABO is for testing and our CBO is for scaling. So what we do is we test in ABO, we just test a bunch of ads, and then we can make different ABO ad sets. So we can take one ad set, we can make it 2, 3, 4. We can test ads, and then the winning ads, we just want to place in the CBO and then just scale it up fully. And then the way we scale is with winners in the CBO, we can scale in 2 ways. Vertically in the CBO, which pretty much just means up with the budget. So if it's $20 a day, we up it with a certain increment every single day once all the KPIs, the 4 most important KPIs, are actually good. So if they're good over the past 1 day, 4 days, 7 days, 14 days, then we can scale the ad up vertically, which means increasing the budget simultaneously every single day. If the KPIs are intact from that period of time, we choose to either scale the ad between 10 to 20% of that budget. So if the budget is 20% and we scale it with 20 euros a day and we scale it with 20%, that means that we're going to ballpark estimate, scale it with 4 euros of that day. So we take that budget, we scale it with 20%, and we increase it. So we can also horizontally pretty much scale the ads. We don't do that usually with the CBO, but we do that with the ABO. So if your ABO campaigns are also running well and you've duplicated one of the ads into this, we still keep on running the ad in the ABO, but we can just duplicate the ABO and start testing different ads in it, or we can just keep the same ads and just have ads running all over the place. So we have one ad set with 2 to 3 ads that are working well. We duplicate that in an ABO, we give that the same budget and we let that run. And then we also have the same ads put into the CBO campaign where we scale it all the way. Now you might say to yourself, am I not competing with myself? In a way you are, but here's what happens. One of those is going to perform tremendously well because Meta is going to push it towards the right audience. And if your audience is big enough, it will segment the audience so the people that you're targeting in one of the ads won't necessarily be shown to pretty much the other ads that are, other audience that is seeing the other ads. So that is how we scale. And as I said, I'll share with you in another video, which will be more in depth on how to do these ads. We also do retargeting. Now, retargeting is something that we launch at the 3rd route. So this is all in, synchronized order. First ABO, get that to work, then CBO, then CBO is working with the ABO, and then we're going to retarget the people because usually we don't have a big enough audience to start with retargeting. So we always layer it in. We do testimonial videos, case studies, and authority content to drive KLT, which is no-like trust factor. How does this look? So for us, pretty much how it looks like is we have testimonial ads running like these where we talk with people, right? We talk with our clients, and we take in a snippet from one of our YouTube videos where we talk with them, we had an interview, and we take the best snippets where they say what growth they've made when working with us. And this works awesome. This works great. This is one of the hacks and one of the things that we've been doing for all of our clients all over the place and for ourselves as well. And it's been one of the best things that we've implemented by far this year. So the targeting for, let's say, this ABO and the CBO, we start very broad and we let Meta's AI optimize. And for some niches, we also test hyper-specific segments like Facebook page admins or interest-based targeting, depending on the niche. Now, once all of these are running, the targeting on the retargeting, by the way, is just simply the testimonial video ads. And then what we do is we either cluster a couple of different audiences, like Instagram ad engagers in the past 180 days, or Facebook pixel data that we have on the people that have gone to your page and then pretty much haven't booked a call, and pretty much people that have also engaged in some way with your Instagram, maybe followed you, liked something or content piece if you're posting it, and utilizing that as well. But for the ABO and the CBO, we do broad targeting, and we don't do any specific interests, just like sometimes, depending on the niche, if we really want to hyper-target it and see if it will actually work. The creatives itself, so we upload the copy and visuals produced with AI, and then remember that Meta's algorithm is smarter than 95% of media buyers. It's smarter than us. Don't have a big ego. It's smarter than you. It knows what you need to do. It even knows where you live. It even knows what you do. It's super scary, I know, but we can use it to our advantage. It rewards the right creative inputs, not audience hacks. The audience hacks won't do the trick for you. What will do the trick is the right creative inputs. Just go and look at Editflow and what they have. Look at how many creatives they have. Look at how many different things they have here, and their targeting is super simple. It's with most of the ads that they're running, it's broad, and with some, it's just a simple interest-based targeting, really targeting a couple of people. That's it. Like just e-commerce owners, marketing managers, pretty much performance. That's it. That's like the only thing that they're doing. Now with the tracking, most important, as I said before, this is where most agencies fail. With HighRose, every booked call, cost per lead, ROI is tracked in real time. And that's how we scale confidently without wasting ad spend. So we focus on tracking everything to the T, so we know exactly how to actually get the best results possible. So we can see, okay, we are getting 65 euros cost per call, 291 per client, 432 sales, 1,000 calls. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is the revenue. This is what we're getting out of it. We know what we need to do. We know what we need to make the decisions, because if you don't know it, if you don't track, you plan to fail pretty much. And it's like you don't plan to not track. And as I said, the example of the car, you don't go into a car not knowing how much gas tank you have left or how quickly you can go, because you're going to get a file. You're going to get a ticket. So that's point number 4 on how we do the ads. Point 5 and the final part is pretty much just making sure that we scale and add the proof. Now the results speak for themselves. For us, as you can see, what we're running here for all of these clients, all of these people, all of them have gotten these results, similar results to what we're doing with all of our clients and ourselves, and they've gone to 50K collected in a single week, 150K in just 2 months, and over 600 plus documented case studies across all niches. Calendars are filled with qualified calls that feel like referrals, but all come from cold traffic, and once cold traffic is working, we simply double down with middle of funnel, right? So we target a little bit more warmer people, and bottom of funnel, which is people that are just retargeted. So that's pretty much our retargeting ads that we do that makes people see our ads so often that they just all of a sudden come into our Instagram and they say, I've been seeing your ads so many times, I cannot get rid of you. So maybe there's something that you're doing right that I should learn about. And then these are hyper-targeted testimonial and authority ads that build KLT, know like trust factor, and increase conversion rates even further, where we weekly keep track of the KPIs. Tracking keeps the system sharp, the traffic, the CPL, the ROAS, and the revenue. And if you're not tracking this way, you're blind. And honestly, most agencies and coaches are blind to that they need to track and improve their tracking. And if you're doing the same thing, if you're not tracking, and you're doing cold outreach, fine. But if you're not tracking it, you don't know what you're doing. If you're running ads, you're not tracking it, you don't know what you're doing. And when I say tracking, guys, very important. I'm not saying go into the ads manager, look at the data, and make decisions. No. You won't have a clear overview in the ads manager. You need to take it externally, because in ads manager, there's no way that you can exactly see if everything is accurate. And by the way, most of the time it won't be fully accurate. That's why we're using things like HighRose to actually get the accurate things in place, so we know what decisions we need to make. Okay? Key principle. It's not about how much you do. It's about how well you do it. So I'm circling this video back. You've seen all of the systems that we use and how we do it. But again, I gotta really, really amplify. It's not about how much you do or how quickly you do it even. It's about how well you do it. So I've shown you that you can do it quickly, but you should do it quality. So if it takes a little bit more time to do it quality, always go that route. It will pay its dividends for you always. Always. So quality over quantity. And once you crack the code, then you scale both vertically, more budget per winner, and horizontally, more creatives, more angles. That's your way on how you can get a system to generate you over 800K and even have clients or yourself get to points of 974K or even if you take a look at last year, for example, running a funnel that is so simple, so straightforward, but getting yourself to pretty much with a lower ad spend, you don't even need it to have like a higher ad spend, spend 200K and get 1.2 million in return. So if you want to go deeper, guys, DM me on Instagram at Stefan Angelovic. Share what you're working on right now. We'll have a casual chat to see how this could apply to you. Be sure to check out all the other videos on this channel. As I said, I'm trumping everything with value because I want to make sure that you truly understand how you can do this. It's not complicated. It's straightforward, but you got to understand how the systems are that you need to implement. So watch this video back. Start implementing AI ads, but first start clarifying your messaging offer, your offer, and then start implementing AI ads because now is the time to do this. Who knows how long these ads will stay this cheap to get this quality result? I don't know how long. The quicker you start, the better it will be for your agency or coaching business. So I really, really advise you to implement all of these things that I said. And for right now, I want to thank you for watching. Leave down in the comments below if you are starting ads right now, if you're already doing them and how they are for you, so I can always give you feedback on how you can make them more profitable. For now, I want to thank you for watching once again. Wish you an amazing day and see you in the next video.